Good morning, everybody. Vindy here with FuturestraderElite. Hope everybody's been doing well this morning. I'm guessing maybe there was some news there at about 8:30, maybe, where we got that drop. The way that was moving, that was kind of the only thing possible really I could see. But as you can see, once we took that pullback, now we consolidating sideways. Now we're dropping some more here. Maybe come down. We got some nice size 15-minute imbalance down here. And so what I've been paying attention to is wondering, was they going to come down, possibly try to test 30,000 at the open here? We got the previous day low down here at 33. Now I was thinking maybe they come sweep that, fill the imbalance, sweep that, tag 30K maybe for a bounce down here. Or the other option is if they want to open up and get really bullish about things, maybe they try to run it back up. Around 435 or so is the high side of the 4-hour candle. Here at the pre-market high. So it's one or the other. I mean, they're both quite a ways away from price right now. And we got about 6 seconds here for the market to open, and we'll see. I'm on the September contract. I roll over as soon as it recommends rolling over. I always roll over. There shouldn't even be any volume in the 626 contract because it rolled over like I think a couple weeks ago. Untag some of the imbalance here. ATR is up around 50. Ninja's really slow at what, Ash? Morning remod. If it's running pretty slow as you're trying to load your charts, you might need to check your days to load and make sure it's not calculating too much data. You have a bunch of indicators on your chart, Ash, and the days to load is way high, then it'll take forever. Right now, mine takes a little while, but I got my days to load all the way down to 5 or 7. Which I would have it less than that, but I need at least 7 days, I believe it is, to get my 50 EMA indicator to work up to the 1 hour or 4 hour. You could just keep 3 days on there of data, then it should load pretty. But Indicators definitely bogged Ninja Trader down. That's morning tea. Getting awfully close to this pivot down here. This S1 pivot is just under 100. So, it could a psychological whole number of 100 maybe come down here, smack that pivot, maybe get a first reaction bounce down here. But I still think I'm gonna focus my focus on the coming down to the previous day low, possibly sweeping on down, tagging 30K. See how we react down there. Tag the pivot there. We'll see if they get a bounce here. Like I talk about all the time in the course. In the course, I talk about first reaction pivot plays. They're real good for scalping. Front load orders on them a lot of times. Have your order sitting there waiting, get picked up, scale out of the very first push. Could have got picked up, right in around 91, 92 there, scaled out to 140. I mean, that's a real nice scalp play. But the only way to really make it work is the front load. It's a different style of entry. Something I go over in the precision trading course. Nice bounce there. Very nice bounce. Don't forget to smash that like button on the stream. Helps other traders find us on YouTube. Helps grow the community. Like we got some big 4-hour imbalance. Bullish imbalance on the 4-hour, 837 and 933. Got about almost 200 points of range inside the orb. About 170 something, 80, I think. Dow posted the best first half of the year, the first half of the year they had in 5 years this year. Kind of like the long setup coming out of this pivot here, but I'm not too sure about it. Like they would come on down and try to take out the previous day low and fill that imbalance to the downside while they're down here instead of running it back. But this is ain't no telling. NQ does what it wants to do. Stay over here in my lane on the sidelines for now. tomorrow. I'm thinking that maybe tomorrow and the next day that I may start to stream late and do like 12:30 to 1:30 market time, probably 1:30 market time, and stream the second half of the trading day just to switch it up and see how it goes as far as traffic and finding new members for the audience. I don't know that I'm going to do that for sure yet, but something I've been thinking about. No, it's very much like me, Ash. We was discussing this yesterday. I got back in my lane. Got back in my lane. Had I told you yesterday I got out of my lane. I was off my rocker. And anybody that had been watching me since March knows that I wasn't trading the way I do trade. My rules are discipline, strict discipline, and having JOMO and just taking the trades that I want to trade. What you seen with somebody, you're saying that because I was getting to the point to where I thought just because I was on stream, I need to be trading. I was trading a bunch of junk is what I was doing. All I've done is got back in my lane. If you go back and watch some streams before whenever it is you first started watching or joining us on stream, you'll see. And I mean, as far as volatility, I mean, it ain't really slowed down. ATR is at 40, 50 right now. I mean, that's just as volatile as it has been the last 2 weeks. Now, whether it stays that volatile, and there were days there where it was like 50 almost all day, the entire session. The biggest thing for me was that when I decided that I was going to start streaming 5 days a week, uh, yeah, pretty much I actually looking for not necessarily just A plus setups, but uh, probably a B or better. Um, unless I decide to do some scalping, because I'll take trades and scalp if I see something I think's worth scalping. But you know, told myself, nope, if I'm gonna do it, I need to stay in my lane if I'm gonna stream 5 days a week and use strict discipline and the rules that I follow and not let the stream make me make my mind change on thinking I always gotta be busy while we're on the stream. And somehow I let that creep in, trying to get the better of me. Got the better of me there for a little while. I had to shake it off. Appreciate that, Ash. That's what it's all about, really, and that's what I'd been doing all along until I let it creep up on me. This whole room is about discipline and patience, and not just being in the charts, chasing trades, and doing a lot of the other stuff that I've seen on other streams happening. You know, you have to plan your trade and trade your plan. And what I caught myself doing on stream was I was just trading in between, like while I was waiting. I would have a trade plan, but instead of just waiting on it, I was trading meanwhile until it got to where I want it to be, you know, with my evals. And I put a little more risk on my evals than I do my fundeds most of the time. I appreciate that. I mean, I did. I lost some evals here or there, which ain't no big deal. Be expected when I was in and out as much as I was. But I did do well. I passed several evals. It's just not the right way, really. I mean, it's more like what's the best term? So if you want to keep your emotions at bay, the best thing to do is to stay calm and just trade your plan. When you're in the market all the time, it opens you up to them emotions, like your heart starts racing, you know, uh, beating faster. And I kind of noticed that some of them days where I was in the market a lot, I was DCAing like crazy, back and forth. That's not like me. Not like me to be doing that. I mean, not DCAing, but to be sizing that big. Now, did it help me pass some evals? Absolutely. But at the same time, I passed a 25K eval yesterday in one day, and I didn't up my size. I just took particular trades. I think the most I ever had yesterday in that account, either 6 or 9, which ain't nothing really to me. But for the most part, most of my trades were anywhere between 1 and 3 micros, and I was just taking particular little setups and, but instead of holding for large take profits, like if I had 3, I was shooting for 15 points, 90 bucks. And I found several of those that were between 90 and 120. You stack a bunch of them up real fast, you got 300-400 bucks. And then there were a couple where I landed $300-400 on 6 micros or something like that, 5 or 6. So I mean, it just goes to prove. I got back in my lane and passed that one eval like it wasn't nothing. I have every intention on passing another eval today once I decide to get started here. Will I? Maybe not. Just depends on the trade setups that we get. I mean, this is a beautiful run right here out of the pivot. We discussed that pivot from the time before it even tapped it. I was talking about that pivot. One of the biggest trade ideas that is part of my toolbox. Um, but look at how nasty the chart was. Wiki. Look at all the wicks. Small bodies, big wicks. Just nasty. Do I hate that I missed it? I guess maybe, but I mean it's not that big a deal. Yeah, it's well over 100-point move, 150 probably or something like that, but it is what it is. I didn't like the way it was forming there. Now we've locked in the 15-minute orb and we're inside the orb right now. Maybe they're trying to run out the top of the 4-hour candle. It closed in 7 minutes. So I don't know if they're going to run out in 7 minutes though, because it's up at 400 something. But well, I mean they could. It is NQ. They could slam one big candle in there and get there, but uh, ain't no telling. I mean, they could come back up into this big old shelf we got up here to the left after they had that fall in pre-market. They could come back up in here and reject out of this area back to the downside. But now they're a whole lot closer to taking out the 4-hour high than they are sweeping 30K. So, look good down here to tap 30K when, it was less than 100 points away. And now it's 200 something points the other way. Now, what do you do? He said he's got JOMO. Yeah, I do too. I'm not too worried about it. Still pretty early. They tagged that orb high though, so what if they range it back down to the orb low? You know, thought about taking the short out of the orb high on the kill zone exhaustion, but on the 1 minute it's pretty good to take that short, but I didn't like it on the 2 minute or the 5 minutes. Figured I'd hold off. Got to remember that if the market is not doing what you want it to do, if you're sitting there watching the screen and it is not, you know, and you're looking and you're in your head, you're thinking, should I get in here, take this trade? Well, if you're already thinking, well, should I get in here in case it keeps going up, or should I get in here because I'm going to go short? You already know not to get in because that shouldn't be part of your trade plan. Part of your trade plan, you shouldn't be sitting there thinking, I wonder if I should get in here in case it keeps going up. Well, then obviously you don't have a trade plan put together if you're guessing where to get in, which is going to keep you safe and disciplined. And not every day is tradable. If you really want to stick to the rules, not every day would be 100% tradable. Now it could be. You might have to take a little bit lower grade of a trade, but just because the market's open, don't mean that our accounts need. You know, some days the market just ain't ain't worth it. You know, it can be unforgiving a lot of days, and I think it's one of those things that's hard for people to accept is to trade and then not trade, take one trade during the day. And I think that's something some people should practice, you know, sitting there on a chart all day and actually not taking a trade at all. And once you do that and have done it more than once, you know, because you don't like what you see, it becomes easier on the discipline side to stay out of the market. I did like a 6.5 hour stream one time and did not take one trade the entire time we was on the stream that day. And then I did another stream. It was a little bit shorter than that. Same thing. We watched the market all day. I did commentary on it, talked about levels, called good, called some good moves on them streams, but I didn't take any of them because they didn't fit what I wanted to do. So, and then locking out. You know, say that you need to probably have something set as your max loss on the day per account. You know, I mean that's the best thing to do. Say you lose $200 or $300 on an account, you automatically lock it out. You don't keep trading it because at least you protect it for the next day, for a cleaner day, cleaner setups. I mean, unless you are somebody who knows, like, I mean, I should do the same thing, but I usually I do some I would do that on a funded, but if I'm in my eval, if I'm in a eval, I mean, if I lose 2K, I've kept trading them plenty of times on stream as well because I know I can get it back. But that don't mean that that's the right choice. But a lot of people would go on tilt. They get past a certain red number, they just get on tilt, and it all goes downhill from there. If you're gonna, I guess, if you're good at accepting the loss and not changing your trading strategy or whatever you're doing, and have walked them back plenty of times before, then I guess maybe you don't. But the safest bet to protect capital is to always put something in place to make yourself walk away instead of getting on tilt. Man, they've done a nice push here, pushing this back up. Can't believe we missed out on 300 points almost. What are we doing? Or 200 points, I mean, I'm sorry. What are we doing? Well, if you're enjoying them streams, don't forget to smash that like button. Helps others on YouTube find us, helps the algo push us out there further. Maybe there's other traders out there that need a room full of discipline and patience. Instead of chasing every candle, every little wiggle on the chart. Morning swing. Excuse me. He looking for a sale? And at 360 for around a 15-minute 50. Well, if it's a long shot, I would think would at least get up to the golden pivot. Maybe they try to whip past that. I mean, it wouldn't be that far. So, way they're trying to slow grind right now. Scalped out by the skin of my teeth with that one. Woo! Another little scalp out. Retest to the orb high. Maybe they bounce here or not. Not looking good. But if they push it back above the orb high and close and open up green, then could just be a retest here. About 10 seconds. Wow. Good. Scalp out. Keep getting stopped out. Scalp out. That was a beautiful push through the orb high and suck back up and push here. Guessing I get stopped out, they'll probably keep going though. They come up and reject the 5-minute 50, put in a lower high, and maybe they try to turn this over to the downside maybe. How they play this, if they're going to come back up here and break, or if they're going to reject. I think I'm going to sit on the sidelines for the moment. What to do? What to do? Best thing to do is to sit on the sideline. Oh, I like to try to get long down here. Little push. Back at the high area. I don't know. Like that they put in that lower high here for 178 for the long. Feel like if they would get this back above the 5-minute 50 and keep it up there, consolidate it, that it could be off to the races. Maybe even a slow grind, but then slow grind it back to the upside today. If they can get it back up in here, keep it up here, and quit with this, start pushing again out of this area. But they have to prove it first, and they have not done. You know, maybe get up around above the golden pivot, say 350. I could see them really doing that, but the struggle seems to be pretty real for them down here. No, I can agree with that. Market ain't giving us much to work with. What it wants. 'Probably gonna try to run it back to at least 400 or a little better, I would think, before they would find some serious rejection on a higher time frame, maybe. Or they could just reject it out of this area. $15-minute chart looks kind of undecided. Nice looking 15-minute candle there at the open. But Crazy how we're already inside some chop this early in the day. Horrible price action. Looked like it had tagged that order when it got down there. Let's see. I was going to put my stop at the bottom side of this box as a risk trade. It bounces out of here before going down and out of the bottom of this box. That would have tagged me out. Glad I didn't take it. Oh, he said 178 for long. Hey, are you using your pivots? I mean your Fibonacci. See the 61.8 is at 178 right there. So happened my precision entry zone that I was looking for was pretty much dead center between the 50% fib and the 61.8. I like how that 50% fib is right on top of that 60-minute 50. That right around the 200 whole number. Mine's right there. Got confluence here, 50% fib, 60-minute 50. Precision entry zone below, got the trend line, and then the 61.8 just below. It's a whole lot going on in this little area right here. All the 945. Oh, look at that. Who took the trade out of the 50% fib? What? Nice bounce. That's a nice one. Guess instead of just staring at it, I should have been trading it. Okay. Maybe the next. Job, Swank. Come on. Beautiful. Nice. Play a beautiful short. You see me swing? I stayed in my lane. Yeah, nice job, Ash. Got the green locked in and the funded. Yeah, today's been a little bit, well, today's been a day. It's almost like every day, though. We can say that every day. Today's been a day. Like I left a little on the table there, huh? That's okay. Traded my plan. I didn't move my stops. Still got a little ways to go. Need about 13 more hundred to pass the eval. One trade at a time. Now, if they're going to keep taking this to the downside, popping it, dropping it, putting in lower lows, we get back down here at the day low here, market low, then we take that out. We might be headed back into that 30K range with looking at, or I was talking about at the open of the market. That's not off the table anymore. It's all about stay disciplined. You out there, no reason to overtrade, no reason to give a dime of that back. That's what it's all about. It's what it takes to be successful. Walk out and walk away. Got to look at trading just like it's a job, a full-time job. I mean, if you can go in and make more in one day and lock it in than you would make working a W-2 job for the day, there's no reason not to lock it in and walk away. The only difference is it didn't take you 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours, however long of a shift one would be working somewhere. You have to treat it just like it's a real job. It's real employment. Yeah, no reason to rush it, Ash. I mean, the only other option would be to get into a sim account or something and put in some reps if you had to keep trading. But the only downside to that is you're risking being in the market because all you have to do is switch from a sim account back into uh, your equity. So I mean, if you could trade a sim and do reps and leave your capital alone, then great. But the downside to doing that is you have to be disciplined enough not to get back into one of your capital accounts. But definitely nothing wrong with putting in more reps, especially if you see your trade set up, you know, take notes on it, journal things. Ten-second. Who's trading 10 seconds? Insane. HFT traders, 10 and 15 seconds. I traded all day on the 15-second 4. Scalping. Hey, what a day that was. I've never used any tick charts before. I got here looking something like a W. I wish that would have put in a tad a bit lower low right here, but then a higher high down here on the momentum on that W, because that would have been a nice looking setup there. This still don't look bad, but I just don't know. Or tempting to try to take that. Kind of almost a double tap out of this area down here. They had over 100-point run or right at 100 there. A little over 100 on that one. Come back, tested it. Not far from taking it back another 100. They can get back close to the center of the W here. Looking like a really, really nice move there that I could have taken, but I missed it. Had to, had to go take some chicken out of the deep freezer and let it thaw out. I didn't realize I didn't have any chicken unthawed. Now I got a chicken to cook during lunch today. I can have some chicken on my salad. Appreciate it, Swain. There's some things, I was watching it when it come down here and tested that fib again. I was thinking, well, looks like, a retest here. Maybe I should take it long, but I don't know. For something was telling me not to put any risk on it. Probably should have. Me getting back in my lane, I'm probably just being a lot more cautious for the time being. That's why I hadn't even messed with my fundeds again yet, because I knew that I was not in my lane. And it was like I just kept doing whatever. I was like, well, I need to back up, stay away from the fundeds, and make sure I'm 100% back in my lane before I even think about touching them. So if I can, maybe today and tomorrow, making sure that I stay in my lane, then I'll be right back to the rotating the funded back in. Sorry to hear that, Swain. You'll get it back. At least you recognize it and stop, and don't overtrade or whatever. Full clickety click mode. Got some overhead 15-minute imbalance up with the 30-minute and 15-minute 50s, golden pivot and everything. 328 to 357, plus we have a downward trend line side just below the golden pivot. Maybe they'll do a magic trend line bounce here. Come down and tag at 5-minute 50 and bounce. Trying to grind this higher possibly. Or roll it. Want to roll it. It ain't super bullish. I mean, they've had a nice move here to the upside. Now, if they keep grinding and they get above that golden pivot, say get back above 350, 360. Actually, for me to think they actually want to be real bullish, for me to think that way, I would have to see it over 400. I think they're going to struggle though. I don't know if they'll be able to get it to 400. I honestly think if they keep trying to pushing to the upside, I think they're going to find some real struggle around 380. I'm pretty sure 380 was the level yesterday that it kept getting hung up on before it finally cracked to the downside, maybe. Or maybe it was 80 before they could move to the upside. But 380 was a level that I know it hung around for a little while yesterday. So dirty. So dirty. Come on, let's go. Go get it. To the downside. Appreciate it, Swain. They got me on the first one. Got me the first time. I was a little too early. Right to the 5-minute 50 were my last order. Oh well. Appreciate it, Remont. Nice job locking in some green on that short. That was a beautiful short for sure. They're gonna bounce it there off that 5-minute 50 and hold, or are they gonna take it on down? without seeing it up here on structure back here from pre-market, then I just don't know. They have to get close to 400, and I don't know. I don't know that they do it. They get up around 380, 385 again. They could push it there. Could find the same kind of result as far as a push to the downside. Back to the Come back to the magic trend line. Get a bounce. Enjoying the streams. Don't forget to smash that like button on the streams. I don't think we're ever going to get back to 20 likes. Seemed like we was hitting that every day, and I was giving away a copy of the mindset book, but seems like we're struggling to get over 10 anymore. I appreciate it, Swanee. Should have called me out 2 weeks ago, man. Should have been like, what are you doing? You should been like, Vindy, what are you doing? Nobody said anything to me about it either. I just kept on rolling. Whatever. I just need to remember that I don't, I'm not here to entertain, as in, hey, look at me. I can always be in a trade and I'm going to make this money. I think it was just a series of events. And, it was just evals and I was just having fun, but I don't need to do that. The whole point of me doing this was to be helping people and educating. That ain't helping nothing. But it seemed like traffic was slowing down. Um, Traffic was slowing down on the stream, they ain't doing like they was. So maybe I was trying to do something different, maybe. I don't know what was going on in my head really. All I know is when I was doing my week my weekend review, um, my week review at the end of the week, and I'd be like, well dang, I blew, you know, blew 3 evals this week. One this day, one this day, and one this day. And I started looking, I'm like, all right, I need to quit. I need to quit doing that. So I quit. I'm gonna get back in my lane, because the whole purpose was to teach discipline, patience, stay focused, plan your trade your plan, and we'll see. But I appreciate it, building this community to hold one another accountable. You know what I mean? I want to see everyone succeed and to do better. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Swang. I don't. I mean, it ain't just the New York session. The Asia session have even been the same. And even when we tried that Tokyo session last week, I mean, it wasn't much better. Um, maybe it's summertime. A lot of people are maybe out on vacay and got other things going on. I don't know. I try not to read too much into it, but at the same time, there's nothing wrong with trying to switch things up a little bit and test a few different things just to see. But so far, anything I've tried to do hadn't changed. And I know all too well it could just be YouTube's algo. I know for a fact that it could absolutely be that because, man, I've been through the reamer with shorts and views on shorts and stuff. What about do you have all the bell notifications set to where you'll be notified? They might have cooled me down a little bit. I don't know. We landed almost 200 subs this past month, so I think it was like 188. I don't know. I know they go through a thing because I went from getting anywhere from 800 views to sometimes 2,000 on some of them shorts on YouTube to like anywhere from 50 views to 200. And I didn't change anything about the way I was editing or anything else. I was still doing the same stuff, posting the same types of reels, and then they just died off. I don't know. It might be something I might need to reach out to YouTube about if it's not showing up in Discovery. Yeah, I'm trying to do that. Pretty good on Facebook right now. TikTok, like I said, I had to start a new TikTok account because the other one just 0 views. Every time I post 0 views on my old account. And so I made another account and did some tests over the weekend. And I posted the same videos to my old account as I did to a new account. And they definitely got put in distribution in the new account and we're sitting at 0 views on the old account. Of course, my account don't show any restrictions or I hadn't had any warnings on my old account. They just stop. I just stopped getting views. I've went around the ringer with TikTok, and that's like talking to the wall. I guess I don't just keep getting the runaround. So I'd probably just be done with the old account and here start focusing on the other one this month and try to get it built back up. Luckily, I only had like 230 something followers on TikTok on that old account. Not like I'm giving up a ton of people over there by or not using the old account, but frustrating. But same thing. I can't really get nothing to take off on Instagram either, or X. The only two that have really worked for me so far is YouTube and Facebook. And I think part of the reason is maybe why it's not growing at the rate one might think it should on some of those is because I'm not posting Lambos and get rich schemes and you're going to retire next week type stuff. You know, a lot of people that blow up real fast are putting out a bunch of damn nonsense. That's all there is to that. And I'm not about to start putting out no videos lying through my teeth to try to get a bunch of people to follow me, because those ain't the type of people I want following me anyway. I want serious people, people that are willing to get in the trenches and put in the work, because it is hard work. Ain't nobody ever made it in this line of work without putting in some hard work. And so if it's a little slower, if my growth is a little slower, but I'm capturing the right audience, that's what's going to be more important to me. It's going to be a stronger base as well by capturing the audience that way. No, not really. I think the reason that my old TikTok locked up on me is because I was making, let's say I make one short, I would natively upload it to all platforms directly. If I were to load it to YouTube and then share it to all the other ones, they wouldn't do anything. As soon as I started doing them individually with the same video, they started producing a little bit. But now, like I said, TikTok's locked up because they want something a little different, it looks like. So if I do any editing to one that I put on YouTube, then I'm probably gonna have to edit it different to put it on TikTok. And it might work. The one for YouTube usually works with Facebook and Insta. Well, I don't mean locked up. Like I'm not getting any views. It's like they aren't putting any of my stuff in distribution on the old TikTok. So it is what it is. It would be nice if I could just make one video and it work across all of them, but that's another issue I'm gonna have. If I'm gonna have to edit my reels differently for TikTok, then I might be posting less over there, at least for the time being, because I got a lot going on between streaming, cutting content for this and that, and trying to make videos and deal with business stuff on the side of the brand, the FTE brand. So I don't know. I just one day at a time, and I try to take the most important thing, the most important puzzle piece, and work on that. Whatever's going to help grow better the growth of the brand. I try to work on that piece and put some of the other stuff on the back burner. I did a test run on a multi-stream over the weekend one time. I had bought Restream so that I could do YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok all at the same time. But the lag was awful. The lag was so awful. And I kept messing with the settings and I got it to about as close. I mean, I guess that you're supposed to be able to get when you're streaming multiples there, and I didn't like it. It made the lag on YouTube so bad it wasn't even funny. I was like, no, because YouTube's the main platform for me right now, and it made it lag. I think every time I tried, the lag was just, we're talking 30 seconds or better. I was like, no, there ain't no way. And so then I got rid of Restream. I'm like, nah, forget about it. Because I think streaming on Facebook and TikTok would help grow the brand, but I can't do it. I don't want to do them together. And then I don't want to add streams to either one of those, plus keep everything I'm doing scheduled on YouTube. So the only way I would do that is if I say maybe instead of doing my streams on YouTube on the Asia or Tokyo session, I do them on TikTok. Or maybe not all the time. Maybe I just do one. Say, let's say today's Wednesday. Say maybe I do a Tokyo session on TikTok tonight. But now here's the funny thing about that. Well, I guess I could stream on my old account. See, my new account ain't eligible to do that, but my old account is. Maybe I could do that from my old account. Maybe it would liven it back up. Turn it back on. I don't know what's going on with it. That was a beautiful short there out of that. Would have been nice to have stayed in that for that whole drop. Never could have happened for me though. Keep my stops too close. And I'm not super worried about focusing on TikTok right now because I spent the better part of a year posting over there and only got 232 followers before they ended up doing that to my account. So wow, that's insane. Yeah, that's kind of crazy right there. I hadn't seen that happen. I hadn't went like months with not getting any subs or nothing, but I do know that since we started streaming though in March, I had been averaging over 100 a month, and I didn't really think I was going to get to 1,000 uh, by the end of the month because we were still when we went into the weekend last Friday when we got off stream, we was at 942, I think, or something like that. Hold on, I can tell you. Um, what was last Friday? The 26th. On the 26th, I started with that day. I had 941 subs when I come out and got on the computer, and then now here today, right now I'm at 1,042. I think, yeah, 1,042, and we started today at 1,037. So I honestly I was like, yeah, we probably won't hit the 1,000 mark in the end of June, which was my goal. And then out of nowhere, man, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So, man, I'll take it. But it's wild. It'll probably slow down though. You know what I mean? It ain't the first time I've had a rush of subs like that. It's just I had never had that many in that short amount of time like that. But I've never I don't even know if I've went a day without getting at least a sub or better every day since March, ever since we've been doing streams full time. It's about 12 o'clock market time almost. I'll be coming in the lunch hour, and I'll probably be about done with this day for now, anyway. Gotta get out here and finish my yard work. Gotta run and get some weed killer and spray all these weeds. That way I can that way I can do less weed eating when it's 100 degrees outside. Instead of weed eating, I can be in a swimming pool. I don't know if I'll ever get to 10,000 subs, but that's how my mind works. Now that we passed 1,000, my goal would be that instead of like 2,000 or 5,000. My brain automatically says next goal 10K. For me though, the getting that for me to get to that size really is not important for the goal. I want I want you know quality of the audience. I don't want a bunch of gamblers inside the chat all day doing a whole bunch of whatever. I want people that are going to take it serious in the audience and treat it like the way it should be treated as a job, not as a casino. It's a long time, 2 or 3 years. Hmm. Oh yeah, I know. I know it's just going to have to be what it is, and I'm willing to. That's fine. That's fine too. I mean, I get it. I know I can't control it, but we ever get to that size and we got that many people on the stream and we got people. I've been in some rooms like that. Uh, and people get carried away in the chat on a stream. I'll just have to make sure I find some good moderators to that want to help us or be part of the brand and that will help moderate the chat, because I've seen some nonsense in some of them chats, and I tell you, I'm quick to hit the eject button They better have a parachute. You was talking about that other person you have watched on YouTube. You said face, so they don't show their self on screen when they stream. That was another thing I've been thinking about ever ever since I started streaming. I said I wouldn't do that. Then I kind of thought, well, I wonder would it be better if I did? You know, I ain't never done nothing like this, so heck, I don't know. No, no, you was talking about the that guy RDGD or whatever it was that streams. Does does he uh does he just stream and talk, or is he on there? Like, does he show his face or whatever while he's on the stream? I got you. That's one of them things that I said I wouldn't do that, but then it kind of, I guess I could understand the part where it kind of helps build trust or whatever. But most of the ones I've ever seen, there was no camera on nobody, so I don't know. I figure people don't want to look at my ugly self; they just want to look at the charts and see what's going on. I would think. Yeah, I've watched some of FSP stuff. I watched some of FSP stuff back around March or April of last year. I used to post in his Discord P&L and all that back in the day. FSPs. Yeah, I noticed that. I think when I first went over and found him and seen him, there wasn't a lot. I mean, there wasn't much going on. He didn't have nowhere near, I mean, there was, but there was nowhere near as many subs as he has now, nor were there near as many people watching the stream while I was on it as he does now, I guess. I guess it's in the thousands. It wasn't like that back when I was watching him. Yep, yep. I got turned on to him by K Cat and somebody else. K Cat's in Discord, which I've been trading with her for about 3 years, I think, about since I've been full time. And she is the one, her and somebody else. was telling me those they kept telling me, or they kept asking me had I ever seen him because they thought that I traded a lot like he did. And so finally, after they kept bringing it up, I decided to go over and have a look. And I could see some similarity stuff, but not 100% like anything else. He's done great. He's done great. Built his channel great, I guess, from what it looks like. Maybe I can do that one day. I'll see. That switched then from when I was watching. He was always in a trade. Seemed like when I was watching it, like always. I mean, he had levels and stuff back when I was watching, but it didn't seem like he was one to wait for him. But I hadn't watched him in over a year, so I don't know. And or I don't know. I decided to just go my own way, and then decided, you know what, I'm gonna do YouTube as well. I'm not I'm not too sure I'm gonna take any more trades. Uh, 12, 10. Dollars down around 15. No, probably gonna drop under 10 on lunch hour. Yeah, that's I remember him saying that whenever I was watching stream back in the day. Wow, I ain't never seen him log off early in the day. Anytime I ever watched him. Seen some other stuff though, like I'm gonna take this account off screen and fix it. One of another reasons why I quit watching. Oh, what to do? I think the best thing to do is to stay out of the trade. Nice, nice, Ash. Yeah, the fees might be eating you up there, but 388's probably still more than most people make in a day. So, and you're using someone else's capital. If that was, a funded account or eval or something, that's still someone else's capital. And 388 is more than most people make in a day. So, regardless if it eats up a bunch of your fees, you're still net green quite a bit of money there per day. At least that's the way I would look at that. Probably size. How much size are you using, Ash? Now, the more size you use with minimal movement, the higher the fees are versus the realized. Five, say 3 micros, and getting and scalping 5 points is going to be a lot better for the bank account than 5 micros or 6 micros and only taking 5 points. The fees are going to eat you with size. I don't even pay no attention to whatever gross is on a day. Only thing I pay attention to is my net liquidation, see where I am there. If I or my realized, if I don't care if my gross is 1,000 and I've only got $200, still $200 in the green, regardless of what I spent in fees. I, excuse me, I can agree with that, Ash. I don't really want to trade all day either. You know, I mean, I can understand that. The best possible scenario is to get in the market, take your money, and leave, and be done. I don't want to trade all day. Being in the market all day is a recipe for disaster, unless you can sit there and just absolutely wait for particular trades to set up and only take those trades. But that also don't mean you should be on the charts all day to wait for those trades to set up. It means you give yourself a window. Say in the New York session, you only trade from market open for the first hour or hour and a half, and then maybe come back to a second window if you have time during the day, or possibly the Asia or Tokyo session or whenever, since the market's open like forever, 23/6 or whatever it seems like. And then you can stay away, say I'm going to trade the first hour and a half of the day. If I don't get what I want, I'm going to go on about my day and then maybe come back and give it a shot, say power hour. A lot of times we get off stream, I'll come back right before power hour and see if I can find anything set up in power hour. I did too, Ash, to be honest. I think everybody has a problem with that, to be honest. Most people do. It's just um it you gotta work past it. I know for a fact. I mean, I didn't used to always be patient, didn't always have discipline to wait for my trades to set up. But you get humbled by the market enough times, you'll realize you're gonna have to switch something. I've been a high frequency trader. I've done my fair share of scalping. I scalped the minis last year like it was going out of style, you know. Yeah, I don't stream if I get back on, and I probably never will because I'm not really at my computer. I got it up. I'm doing other things, and I'm just waiting. Sometimes I'll set alert or something. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the HFT style. A lot of people trade that way. Um, like anything else, though, if you're going to use prop firms and be consistent at it, you got to be strict with it. Because even if you use an end of day drawdown prop eval or something, you'll eat that whole thing up in one day. Especially if you trade the minis. And it ain't no better if you're trading micros if you end up adding enough to be trading minis. That's really the crossover there is because if you add enough contracts and micros to where you're holding minis practically, it's crazy because the fees are way cheaper to trade minis than to trade micros. You're gonna do that. Well, if you're trading like a HFT style trading, you really ain't got time to reevaluate nothing if you're actually a high frequency trader. You got to be on the fly and be fast about it, not sitting back and reevaluating. If you got time to do that, you might as well wait on your trade. High frequency traders will be trading thousands of trades a day. And if not thousands, at least hundreds of trades in one account. Mine was thousands because I was rotating accounts. That was a lot of work to trade like that, though. And it wasn't beneficial in the end. Overall, when you zoom out. Not for me, it wasn't. It was fun. You could make some money doing it, but I think, I mean, using a stop is very smart, especially if you're going to do it that way. But every day is different with the market. As a scalper, a high frequency scalper, you can keep back testing all you want and think you have your stop where you need it, and then tomorrow when you trade, you're going to blow your account. That's not quite how NQ moves. There's no particular best spot because every day is different. We can't predict what the market's going to do, and where you put your stop today might not work tomorrow. And then it might work for the next week, and then for the next 3 weeks be different. The best thing that ever worked for me when I was doing it is I built several ATMs inside NinjaTrader based on ATR. And what I would do is build several ATRs, put enough reps in with different ATRs, build some ATM strategies around that. And then what you do, once you've been back testing it, you get in the market one day at market open, and you get into the market with a sim account using one of these ATMs that you built. And test the ATM per the ATR in that sim account a couple times maybe, or however, and see how the flow is. Maybe it's the wrong ATM for that particular day. Maybe you try the next one. You find one using your sim account that looks like it's going to be the best working for that day versus ATR, then you switch into your capital. Once you have proven that this is the ATM I need to be using on this particular day. I had I want to say 15 built around ATRs. Now some were built around the same ATR, but they scaled differently. Like one might be 3 micros, 5 micros. I had some that were 1 mini, 3 mini, 5 mini. I mean, I had a bunch built around all kinds of stuff. And they work great. But I got away from wanting to trade like that. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll go back and trade something like that a little bit. I don't intend to, but you never know. Yeah. I like that swing. I mean, some of the times when I scalp in the middle of the day, when we be on here, a lot of times I use 3 micros is what I start with, and then that's all I go for. I'll set my take profit out there. I don't usually put a stop on because I'll add to my position if I think it's worth adding, but I think I did that today. I might have used 2 micros today though. Look at Ash talking about the market will give every day gives at least the ATR you want, or and if not, then you can wait till the next day. Well, Ash, I thought you didn't have the personality to wait. You're the busy bee. You'll find it. I like that train of thought. If that's how you're going to be with it, honestly, if that's how you're going to be with it, uh, that's great. I mean, if you can hold to that, if it don't give you what you want, wait till the next day. I like that discipline for sure. That's really how you have to be honest. Who's waiting? Yeah, who's waiting for what? Well, or who's waiting for that? I'll tell you what. I'm mad that I forgot to get that chicken out until earlier when we was, because it ain't gonna be ready for lunch. Maybe for dinner. You'll get it worked out. I mean, whatever fits you. You know, there's so many different styles and ways to trade. You got to find what what your best fit is and what you're comfortable with. And once you find that and you become consistent, just keep repeating the process. You know, time and time and time again. Making an egg sandwich. Right. Sounds pretty good. I would do that, but not eating any bread. So nice. Remod. 600 locked on your first funded ever. Great job, Remod. Yeah, you passed your eval yesterday. I remember we congratulated you yesterday on passing your first eval. Look at you today, 600. Lock it in and walk away. Congrats. That's great. You locked in more than I did today. I should do more trading and less talking. Oh, no, I shouldn't. Hold on. No, I said that wrong. I don't need to be doing more trading. Ain't nothing set up for me to take. So I might have missed a few trades today while we was talking though, because I did watch a few things in my mind, but I didn't draw anything on the chart. So. Wang said, "Don't be like Belinda." Good job, Remod. Lock it out. Lock it out and walk. I like the discipline. We do talk about that almost every day, it seems like. Walk on over here to thought somebody had posted in Discord. I guess not. What that was about. No, 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 no. I don't have a big garden. I got I just got weeds. I don't know, like I don't know. I mean, I got a decent sized piece of property here, and there's just certain things. Plus, I got a lot of gravel. Got a lot of gravel here because I was in the remodeling business. I have a lot of stuff. I got a lot of gravel with trailers parked everywhere and vehicles, and I got weeds coming up through the gravel that I can't stand, and around fence. I like got some trying to grow around my pool. I don't like that. I just got weeds. They're bad. They think they can grow wherever they want to, and I usually keep up with it. But we've been getting so much rain this year so far that it's been hard. Usually about once every 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, I can spray, and it keeps everything down and brown. But man, we're getting so much rain, and them things are growing like trees out there. It seems like. I gotta get them away from the fence. Them dogs will go out there and eat them weeds. Then they'll be throwing up grass all day. Gotta get it all killed down, especially around the fence. Man, they drop like 8 inches of rain. Not here, but about my in-laws live about 3 hours from me, and they got like 8 inches of rain. I think in like 4 hours or something. Bad flooding, all kinds of crazy stuff. Bunch of roads shut down. I was like, golly, I'm glad we didn't get no rain. I wish I could have got 8 inches of rain or better whenever I had to refill that swimming pool there after I had to fix it. I only imagine what my water bill is going to be. This But I do grow some vegetables. I don't have a big old garden, but I do grow some vegetables. A little bit of everything. My favorite thing, uh, jalapeno peppers, because I like to make jalapeno uh, poppers. To go with as a side dish with all the meat that I smoke all the time. Yep, with bacon and cheese, cream cheese, and got one where I'll use bacon, cream cheese, cracker, and pepperoni, and sometimes instead of the pepperoni with the cracker, cheese, and bacon, I'll use salami sometimes. That's funny. Special K told me to do something with that before. He told me that I should start a TikTok thing, just cooking, smoking meat and stuff. But I was like, it ain't like I ain't already got enough going on. I don't know if I need to be doing all that. Yeah, come for the trade, stay for the food. We could definitely be dishing it out. There ain't no doubt about that. I'll tell you what my new thing is here recently, since that I changed up my diet a little bit. I'm eating more chicken than usual. So now, because I'll be putting chicken on my salads and then just eating chicken with vegetables or whatever. But I'm cooking my chicken now, like my chicken breast. I'm cooking them in my air fryer. And man, let me tell you, you talk about holding the juice in. Take some raw chicken, get it all patted down, put some rub on it, or put some oil, like some avocado oil on it. Rub it down a little bit there. Get your put your rub in there about 18 minutes in the air fryer, about 375. About 18 minutes, 17, depends on the size of chicken breast. But man, you talk about good chicken. Hmm. Hoping I can do some ribs over the weekend for the 4th of July, maybe. Your wife, see. I see we're going to be closing early, I guess, on Friday. The market is about that. I could afford the meat. I would probably smoke something almost every day on the smoker. I would never let that thing take a break. Cook about all the meat on the holidays for the family. Or Thanksgiving, Christmas, Thanksgiving turkey, smoking them. I'll be up all night just so they'll be ready for whenever dinner time is on Thanksgiving Day. I remember I smoked a turkey one night. I was up, I think, I don't know, 18 hours. It was crazy. That turkey was like 22 pounds, I think. But I'm so particular and meticulous. I got to make sure that everything I smoke, I get it just perfect. Probably why I was good at remodeling. Very particular. Very particular. Laid so much tile in my lifetime. I hope I never lay another piece of tile ever again. Spent so much time at Lowe's over the last 2 decades that I can't even stand going in that store anymore. I practically live there. Yeah, that's how I be all the time. I be talking and then I kind of see it out of the corner of my eye, but I'm looking at more than just a chart on the stream. And then I'm like, well, there went that. I missed that right there. It is what it is. Who cares? I don't care. I'll just have to miss. I think I'm about to be done here. Well, wow, it is 12:45. Time for me to go eat. 11:45 my time though, but time for me to get out of here and see if I can't find some grub. And I appreciate all of y'all showing up and showing out with me on the stream day after day. And I will see everybody tomorrow on the New York stream. I'm not sure if we're streaming tonight just yet. I might. If I am, I will I will set it up. So you should be notified, hopefully. I don't know if you'll be notified or not. Swain said that ain't quite working or something, but Hopefully you will be if I set it up. If not, I'll see everybody on the New York session tomorrow and we can lock in some more green, hopefully. Everybody have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you on the next. See you, Swain.